Couple of days ago I was in the shed and I noticed something black dark behind the tree, and I kept looking and looking and I couldn't see anything. And then today I was making a brewing shed, as you do, and then I saw this dark bit of movement in the grass, this dark object move again. So I grabbed the camera quick, which luckily was set up on the tripod, and I captured this. Now I didn't have the microphone set up on the camera, so I just did the filming quick, and it's a black rabbit, a black rabbit. I couldn't believe it. I've not seen a black rabbit for ages. There are dozens and dozens of bog standard rabbits, the grey rabbits around the allotment, but ain't seen a black one before, no sir. In fact, this is the first year I've actually seen rabbits running through the wood. I've spent the bulk of the day trying to sort out these compost bins, because although, as I previously said, the bins are completely wrapped in wire netting and there's wire netting in the base of the bins, what the rats were doing were climbing up on top of the bins and then digging the way in. So I've lined the top with these pallet boards and I've put this piece of polycarbonate on top, so that hopefully now the rats cannot get in. Now, because I didn't have any hinges or any real way of attaching that, what I've done, I've put a piece of pallet board on top of the plastic, and I've nailed it through just there, and then as a hinge I've used some of this roofer's membrane, which is lined on the sides of the bin. So I've nailed that to the wood, and then I've nailed that to the top of the pallet board, so that it acts as a hinge. Come here. Yeah, so that acts as a hinge, and it saves me putting tons and tons of bricks on top, because I just don't like messing about. Now it probably isn't the best bin to do it on, because this bin's twisted, and I'll show you how the rats have been getting into these two bins now. But anyway, I think that's going to work. And this is going to be a temporary. I'm going to sort these bins out next year, and I'm going to 100% remake them all, probably rebuild them and make them much more robust, because I'll show you what's happening. So this is how they've got into both bins here, and you see that corner. Look at the damage they've done in that corner. What they've done is they've found a little gap between the pallets, and they've crawled up that gap, and then they've dug in through the top corner, chewed away all the insulation on both corners. And what's happened, this end bin had sunk and had dropped over and started sinking a bit, so it opened up the pallets, because it's, you know, each bin is 4 pallets, and rather than these 2 pallets in the centre touching, a gap had opened up as this bin dropped, so the rat's been able to crawl between and climb up and then get in. And it did the same on the other corner of that bin. It had dug its way in through the top. So what I've actually done is I've propped the bin back up again, and I've stuffed the hole with wire netting. If it does manage to get back up through, I don't think it will now because they're touching again. If it does manage to get in, or it finds another route, that wire netting will stop it. But what it also did, once it was in, it wasn't happy with just chewing that corner up. It chewed itself an exit there, so it chewed all the insulation there and chewed its way out. This is why I don't want the rats in the bin, because they absolutely destroy the insides of the bin, and then you end up with loads and loads of polystyrene in the compost, or kingspan insulation, or whatever your bin is insulated with. So what I've had to do, I've probably spent 20 or 30 minutes digging through the top of the compost. Look at all the insulation in that, just getting all that stuff out. Anyway, I've got the bulk of it out the bin. Right, so as I said, what I'm doing is this pallet, you can see this pallet all up the sides, lined with wire netting, and I'm putting these wider pallet boards on the back like that. So I'm putting them wider pallet boards on there to stop them getting in through the top, and then I'm putting another board on there and another board on there, So effectively, and I'm screwing that down to the existing pallet tops. So effectively I'm blocking all access from the top of the bins by putting the plastic on top. Now I don't see how they're going to get in here, never say never, but unless they chew a hole through this wood or chew through this polycarbonate, they're not going to be able to get in. I don't think they're going to be that determined, because there's no actual food left in the bin. There's heat in there, which I'm sure they enjoy, but regard to food, there's very, very little. I was going to try and finish this today, but I'm a couple of boards short, because I want these wider boards, because the polycarbonate sheeting I've got is only just wide enough to cover these. I've got plenty of narrow boards, but I actually need another 3, and I'm sure I've got another pallet at home I can break up to do this bin tomorrow, maybe, if it's dry. But I'm certainly going to get this one finished now. Well, that's 2 of the bins done. I've got that sheet, that other offcut polycarb that just covers this. Just half an inch overlap on the sides. I may just put some more pieces of wood on the sides here just to extend it over a bit more, because they're gonna find a way in through that. I'll do that tomorrow. It's getting late now, and it's beautiful sunny day, but my god, it's cold, really cold. But yeah, I'll do the rest, and then all I've got to do then is that end bin there, which is the active bin. Just haven't had the time to even put all the apples and rubbish I've got in today to top the bin up, which is doing really well. What I need ideally is 4 bins along here, and it's just going to simplify everything so much. So I'll start filling the 2 outside bins. When they are full and ready for turning, I will turn them into the 2 centre bins, each one into the centre, and I will then start filling the 2 outer bins. When they are full again and ready for turning, I can turn them back onto the 2 middle bins. So that will leave me with 2 full centre bins that will finish composting, which I can then start filling the 2 outside bins up again. By then it will be the end of the year, and if I have to turn them bins, I can turn them both into 1 storage bin. That's what I need to do, because at the moment I'm juggling between those 3 bins and these 2 bins, lifting it across, which just takes longer than slotting it over into a middle bin. So I think what I'm going to have to do is just redesign the bins next year completely, get rid of the IBC in the corner, take it off. I think I'm going to build a platform just on the path on the other side of that fence there, so that the IBC is up above ground, and then I can just have the outlet coming up in above the fence there. And I can have my 4 bins, and I will just build them much more robust than they are currently. I'm not going to go to the effort of doing them in brick or concrete or block or anything like that. It would be ideal, but where I am at the minute on here, I'm not going to go to all that time and trouble and expense to do that. Yes, we'll see where the path takes us. There's a lot of rats on the allotments moving around at the moment, loads and loads of them. People are leaving things on the ground, courgettes and squashes, and they're just tunneling their way into them and eating them. And it just encourages them. Don't stop leaving food out for them. Why do you think they hang about and start building nests under sheds when your whole allotment is full of food? Right, that's it guys for me bins. They're secure tonight. I don't think there's going to be any rats getting in there. This centre one isn't hinged or anything, so I think 3 bricks on there will suffice. I don't even like having to take bricks on and off. I like just a simple catch on the front of the bin, lift the lid up, fill it and close it. That's what I like, simplicity. It just saves messing about with lifting things on and off and moving things. So that's what I want guys, that's what I'll end up with on these bins. I'll do some more amendments to these tops and I'll get them right, and I'll show you what I do when I've done them. A lot more updates to come in the next video guys, lots of updates. I've got to sort out next year's carrot bed, early carrots, which I don't know which one it is yet, but that's the one. I always plant garlic and onions in that bed, and I've got some elephant garlic which I need to get in. It's in a big tray at the moment, it's just rooting. finally going to empty the tunnel. I'll show you what I'm doing in there and planting, what I'm planting in the tunnel. Oh yeah, and we'll have a look at the sprouts under there now. Quite pleased with the sprouts actually. They've done really well this year. Some of them, not all of them, but I'll show you them guys. I need to pack in because I'm freezing. All right, catch you on the next one. Bye for now.